We are clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in the state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Our family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Keep that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to code, stop for three. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same poverty at your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, that be on the CNN. BBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. None of what you hear, half of what you see.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I want to say hi to everybody. I hope you guys can hear me and see me. If you can see me and hear me, let me know that you can see me and hear me. Just give me the shout out if you can. Hey, what's going on? Slick Whips and New York and Lou H and Twiggy and Victoria and good morning, Baridi. Are you guys able to hear me? Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Give me a yes or no if you can hear me and see me. Because I am, Adrian says, nice meeting you last night. Yeah, I remember talking to you. Okay. Delvon says, yep. Okay. O'Brien says, we're good. Okay, good stuff. All right, guys. I am in New York right now, and I am here getting ready for our investment event. We're going to have an investment seminar / summit. It's going to be a private event for those of you that are interested in learning about investing, to also pitch your business to other investors, also to have the opportunity to learn about family wealth and how to put together your family wealth plan for the next 100 years. And it's going to be really great. It's actually down here at the DoubleTree Hotel, which is in Midtown Manhattan. You can feel free to come on down, but you should get your ticket online because I think we're going to sell out. So not that I am a sellout, I will never be a sellout, but I think we're going to sell out. So you probably don't want to wait to come to the door. You want to get your tickets online. Not only are they lower cost than they would be at the door, but like I said, two of our ticket levels have already sold out, and the others are probably on their way out because we're about to hit capacity for the venue. So feel free to come on down. You guys are going to love it. You can go to drboycenewyork.com to learn more. That's drboycenewyork.com. And also on top of that, there is we're actually hosting a spades tournament in Joliet, Illinois. In Joliet, Illinois, we're doing the All Black Spades tournament. It's kind of a new experiment, just something where we wanted to try something a little bit different. And so if you like spades and you like Black people and you want to hang out and you want to socialize, then, this is not a financial event or anything like that. But if you want to do all of that, feel free to come by. You can go to drboycechicago.com. That's drboycechicago.com. I don't know what you guys think. Give me your thoughts on that in terms of what you think about, in terms of us having like more fun events as opposed to everything being all serious all the time. And I think that was important because I'm not a serious person all the time. But, I don't like to always be serious. So I figured you guys wouldn't want to be either. But anyway, let's hop into the conversation right now. The discussion I wanted to have today has to do, okay, let's see. Taglanta says dope idea. Good. Well, yeah, cool. Because I play spades. Anybody else play spades in college? I don't know. Let me know. Give me a yes or no if you played spades in college or if you know how to play spades. I played a lot of spades in college, and when I was in college, spades were like some serious shit. Like if you were a bad spades player, you might get beat up or stabbed if you were giving books away or whatever. So I decided it would be cool, like in Chicago, to have a spades tournament. And that's what we're doing. So drboycechicago.com if you want to sign up and compete. And we're going to give a little trophy and stuff like that. Just kind of make it fun. So anyway, all right. So Amanda says yes, and Ricardo, yes. Okay. Daryl says spades. I already got a partner. Yeah, come on by, man. I'd love to see you. And I think it would be fun because I think just fellowshipping and hanging out together is really what we're all looking for. We just want to get away from all the idiots in the world and kind of hang out with some people that kind of get it and kind of see the world the way we do. And so I think that would be a fun thing to do. So anyway, let me tell you what got my attention today. There is a Black college student who apparently, I think the student attends the University or Oregon State University. Let's see, somebody says sounds fun and free. It's not free. And the reason it's not free is because venues aren't free and arranging events is not free. So we can't make it totally free. There is a small fee, but it ain't gonna cost you more than a couple buckets of Popeye's chicken. So it's up to you to decide if you want to come out, but it ain't free. We can't do stuff for free because freedom ain't free. We can't do it free stuff because we're not sponsored by the government or by white people. We actually pay our own bills, and in order to do that, we have to raise money. So so pull that $20 out of your pocket and join the spades tournament and come on down and have some fun. All right. So anyway, so there's this Black college student who apparently attends Oregon State University, and I don't have the student's name in front of me, but I do have the student's story. And it's very sad. I watched the video today, and this poor young lady is doing everything she can to try to, talk to the police in a respectful way. She's defending her rights. She's doing all the things that we are told to do in terms of knowing your rights. Like Colin Kaepernick used to talk about the whole know your rights camp and all that stuff. And it didn't matter. The police still slammed her down and beat her up and dragged her away and treated her like she was a criminal. And I didn't like it. I thought it was a problem. And now let me show you guys the video. And if you're on Instagram, you'll only be able to hear the video. You won't be able to see it. If you want to watch it, you can go to drboycetv.com if you want to actually see the video. But either way, you can just kind of hear it. And there's a lot you can pick up from just hearing it. So give me 1 second, guys. Let me share my screen. While I do that, do me a favor. Let's do our Black Power ritual. Hit the thumbs up button and the notification bell. Notification bell is very important, so you'll be notified when we go live. So on the count of 3, everybody hit the thumbs up button, the notification bell, and then type Black Power in the chat. So on the count of 3, thumbs up, notification bell, type Black Power in the chat. So 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hit the notification bell, type Black Power in the chat. I'm going to pull this video up while we do that. So give me a second, guys. Let me shoot down some of this. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm sharing my sound now, and here we go.
Preventing you. You are the preventing yourself. I'm asking you for information. You are preventing yourself from having success in the situation by not being able to provide
basically at that point, here's where it's at right now. You have an opportunity at this moment to give me your identification, and you can have a citation and you can leave. If you fail to do that, I'm going to arrest you at this point. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You are going to arrest me for not giving you information.
Correct.
When I was asking why you needed my information.
Yes. So I would like to get you to cooperate and give me your identification willingly. If you refuse to do that, you are under arrest. Do you understand?
I would like to have some more clarification.
There's not going to be more clarification. I need a yes or a no from you. I need you to either give me your identification now or you're going to be placed under arrest. Which do you want to do?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, you're under arrest.
I don't answer questions.
Stop!
Stop! Stop! Stop!
Okay, you're under arrest.
831, send us more. Stop.
Hey,
stop.
Get back now. She's not complying. Okay, roll onto your stomach.
Hey, I will comply. I need both of you to get off of me.
That's not going to happen. Roll on your stomach.
I need you to get off of me.
Roll on your stomach.
I need you. I'm not moving.
Roll on your stomach.
I'm not moving. 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 They say I'm resisting. I'm not moving.
Just stay still. You're fine. Stay still. All right. You're under arrest for interfering with a peace officer. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney, to have him or her present with you during questioning.
You want hobbles?
No. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questions are asked. If you do choose to make a statement, you can stop talking at any time. Do you understand your rights?
Appreciate it.
I don't answer questions.
Okay, that's fine.
Got a female officer coming.
Okay, good. I think we'll just wait for that then. Keep her here.
I just have a question.
Okay, not right now, okay?
That's a negative.
We'll get someone to answer your questions in a minute, all right? 2424. Oh, this radio. 2424. One in custody for interfering with a peace officer. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it. Here, we're gonna help you so you don't.
I don't need your help. I can sit up myself.
Stop.
I asked to sit up by myself.
Stop. You're not sitting up.
Please let me sit up by myself. I would rather lay down. I would rather lay down. I would rather lay down. I would rather lay down.
Stop.
It's unnecessary. Absolutely.
Okay, so let me unshare this. Okay, guys. So okay, first of all, give me a yes or no if you feel this was an injustice. If this was an injustice to you, say yes. If it was not an injustice, say no. But give me a yes or no. I'd like to get a take on your perspective, just so I don't make any assumptions here in terms of what you guys are thinking. Okay, so Thomas says she could have avoided all of this very easily. She brought this on herself. The Black Cyber Network says stop befriending whites. That makes them think they can do that. Solange says more like a peace officer, as in peace like gun. Yeah. Okay, let me see here. So do you feel like it was an injustice or not? Give me a yes or no. Carolyn says yes. Christy, yes. Kiera, yes. Oh, sorry. Kiera says no. I'm sorry. Eric says yes. Complete injustice. Sandy says no. Chris, hell yeah. Slyhouse, yes. There's a black cop assisting him, says JC. Kyle Mitchell, yes. Or sorry, no. Okay, so I see it looks like there's a little bit of a mixed review here. Some of you feel, okay, Todd and Thomas say no. And I respect all these opinions. I want to make sure that you guys are reminded and reiterated that this is a home for intelligent black people. And an intelligent discussion means that we're not going to stab each other because we disagree. And so I'm going to say that I lean toward, yes, it is an injustice. And let me tell you why. It does not mean that those of you who say no are wrong. Now, let me actually, in fact, let me play devil's advocate with myself to begin the discussion to kind of, I'm going to disagree with myself. I know that sounds contradictory, sounds weird, but just know I'm a weird person like that. So I'm going to disagree with myself real quick and say, I can understand why you would say no, because, I remember I grew up, my dad was a cop. So I've interacted with cops several times in my life. There have been times where I was pulled over just because I was black, or because they thought I was selling dope. Actually, that happened twice, where I got pulled over because one time I was moving a U-Haul truck from Lexington, Kentucky, where I went to college, to Indianapolis. I was helping my girlfriend at the time move. I was literally super young, 25 years old. And we got pulled over because we had two cars. We were in a caravan. One of them was a U-Haul truck, and the guy wanted to open the back of the truck to see if we had dope. In that case, I just cooperated. I opened the truck because I wasn't slanging. I didn't have no dope, so it wasn't a big deal. And then there was another case where I was again in Indiana, right? So this is an interesting pattern here, right? I wasn't on my way to Indiana. I was actually in Indiana on my way to a job interview at Indiana State University. And the cop pulled me over. It was 2:30 in the morning. And he asked me literally, I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating. He asked me literally about 25 questions really, really fast, because I think he was trying to see if I was lying. So he literally was like, "What's your name?" I said, "Boyce Watkins." He said, "What are you doing out here?" I said, "I'm on my way to an interview." "What are you interviewing for?" "I'm interviewing it for a job at a university." "Which university?" "Indiana State University." "What do you teach?" "Finance." Where do you teach now?" "At Syracuse University." "Where'd you get your undergraduate degree?" "University of Kentucky." "Did you get a PhD?" "Yes." "Where'd you get your PhD?" The Ohio State University. Like he was literally going down this list, asking me all these questions really fast, because I think he was trying to catch me in a lie. Now, I was annoyed. I was inconvenienced, and I knew exactly why he was asking me all those questions. And I did not feel he had the right to do that, but I just sort of dealt with it and moved on, right? I just, it was like, okay. And I called my dad. I said, "Yeah, I ran to this motherfucking cop, and let me tell you what this guy was doing," and it wasn't a big deal, right? But, to that point, maybe take it for what you will, but I've always just kind of felt like, okay, just cooperate, just whatever they want, just do it. As long as they don't ask you to drop your pants and want to put something in your butt, then whatever. They ask you a million questions, just answer their questions, because I didn't feel like it was an issue. But here's the thing, right? So that's me disagreeing with myself and saying that, yes, I've as a black man, I've engaged with the cops a lot, but because my dad was a cop and I've seen cops in a lot of contexts, but I've never had a situation where a cop was trying to kill me, or a cop was really trying to harm me in some significant way. So I think sometimes this constant fear that we planted in ourselves of the cops, like we see a cop, we're like, "Oh my God, there's a cop, oh my God, I better run." I don't know if that's always completely justified, because I think you got to kind of ask yourself, like, remember, media can play with your head. Media can kind of mess with you to the point where you're seeing all these people that are having these bad interactions with cops. So you think every cop is bad, every interaction is bad, every situation is deadly. Every time you see a cop, you might die. You're running around constantly scared of the cops. I had a friend that was in Arizona, And he was like, well, you know, the Arizona cops, I'm just scared of them. You know, the Arizona cops going to do that. I said, man, you've been here 5 years. Have you ever even talked to a cop? Have you ever been pulled over? He said, no, but you know, the cops are, I'm like, but it's never happened to you. You know, so it doesn't mean that it's not real. Let's just be clear. We're not saying it's not real. We're just trying to say you got to know the difference between what you're seeing in the media and what you're actually experiencing. And now with that said, though, in this case, I saw injustice here. I saw a lot of injustice because let's get back to the basics on this motherfucker right quick, okay? Let's just get back to some simple shit. Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Was this young lady a threat to anybody? Was this young lady a criminal? Was this young lady, she was riding her bike on the wrong side of the street. On the wrong side of the street. That's at least that's what I've read. Does that make her a threat to anybody other than maybe herself, right? Maybe she could be hit by a car or something. But was she really somebody that the cops should have been spending their valuable time, you know, interrogating in the first place? Was she somebody they needed to even be talking to? No. I mean, whether you agree that she was right or wrong, that's not even the issue. The issue is, why were you even having the interaction in the first place? You see, when you live in a police state, the biggest challenge of a police state, which is what we live in a police state where Black people are under occupation by the police. You know, the problem is not so much just, you know, the threat of you possibly breaking the law and getting in trouble for that, or excessive punishment for breaking the same laws white people break, but it is just simply talking to the police that is the problem. It is the fact that they're more likely to even want to engage with you, which right there, just the mere engagement with you puts you at a significant disadvantage, because then a whole lot of Pandora's boxes open up. That means now if the cop grabs your arm and you pull your arm away, you can be charged with assaulting a police officer. The cop asks you a question, you don't answer it, you're going to get tackled, handcuffed, and hit upside the head, right? All these things can happen to you because you're simply talking to a cop. Cops are toxic. Cops have become toxic because we have this toxic system that has made police into these stormtroopers that can literally ruin your life based on one simple half-second, split-second decision, one simple tiny mistake. You answer a question wrong, you do one thing wrong, you broke law, you know, statute number 476-A/B:C.2. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you done broke some damn law, and next thing you know, you up in prison, you know, trying to fight off, you know, a big buck who's trying to rape your ass in the middle of the night. Like seriously, that's the problem with cops. And that's why nobody likes cops. That's why nobody trusts cops, because don't nobody want to talk to cops. Nobody wants to talk to cops. You know, here's the thing, right? In a way, I almost compare it a little bit to like a brother dating a white woman. You know, a brother dating a white girl. I don't have a problem in terms of telling people, brothers, you know, like white women are bad people, or you should just, or they're just disgusting, or I just hate them. I don't hate nobody. I'm not into that. Hatred is a heavy burden to carry. The reason I tell brothers to be careful about dating white women and to avoid it is because when you and that white woman both go out for drinks and y'all both go into that bedroom by yourselves when nobody else is looking, you are at that point in serious danger. You are in danger at that point because you may end up being assaulted by her predatory behavior if she's the wrong person. You go in that room and if she's not 100% happy with whatever happens in that room, she can come out and tell any story she wants, and people will send you to prison based on what she said in that story. Truth won't matter at that point. Your fairness doesn't matter at that point. It ain't he said, she said, it's she said, because he ain't said nothing, because ain't nobody gonna listen. So to some extent, cops are a little bit like the white women of America. Like, white women and cops are kind of the same thing in the sense that they have so much power they can tell any lie. They can create any scenario. They can rewrite any story. They can file false statements. They can file false reports, and your black ass is done, right? So that's why my theory, my personal Boyce Watkins protection policy was, my Boyce Watkins protection policy was, no cops, no white women. Like I just stay away from them. That way you avoid any potential issues that can come up in the event that they decide that they're not happy with the interaction. Now, Ivy says, say that Dr. Boyce, she is white and she will be right. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the girl in the video that she's white. I was like, she's white? I know she's black. Okay, got you. I get what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. It's just one of those things where you don't want to walk into a situation where there's that much of a power disparity, because it's a lot like like black men need a Me Too movement. We black people, period, we need our own version of maybe called Me Too Black, because the Me Too Black movement should focus, the Me Too movement talks about the power disparity between a boss and an employee. Like if a boss is sleeping with the employee, they're like, oh, well, that should be considered assault because or harassment because there's a power disparity, and the power disparity is going to drive the relationship. Well, when you're black, the same thing. When you're black and you lay down with a white woman or you talk to a cop, there's a power disparity, right? And so at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, then that's when things will go very, very wrong for you and not wrong for them. So with this young lady, the problem to me was not so much, if you go back to the basics of this shit, the cops shouldn't have never been talking to her in the first place. Y'all's asses need to be out here dealing with real criminals. Ain't nothing that you could tell me about a 5'2" college student who speaks proper English. She's very well spoken, by the way. Like, ain't nothing you could tell me about that young lady, 5'2" college student with proper English, riding on the wrong side of the street, that can tell me that the world is a safer place because you took down one of the thugs that's terrorizing the community. She wasn't hurting nobody, so your ass shouldn't have been talking to nobody. You should have drove right past her, or you should have stopped and said, hey, you might want to get on the other side of the street to be safer for you, and move on with your own goddamn business. That's the problem. Cops need to learn to mind their own damn business instead of thinking that any person who's doing something that violates some meaningless rule needs to be interrogated like they Pablo Escobar. That's your damn problem. That is your problem. You're treating everybody like a criminal. You're walking around pretending like you should have absolute power and that you can terrorize anybody and everybody over anything, anytime you feel like it. And that's where the issues come up. So to me, that's what I see as the problem. I like to go to the root of stuff. I'll say not the root, like, that white-owned publication that pretends to be black. I'm not talking about the root like that. I don't mess with the root. I'm talking about the root of the issue, the heart of the issue. The root of the issue, to me, is not about, whether or not she should have been answering their questions, or whether or not she complied, or whether or not, she violated some statute or code. It's all about the fact that they shouldn't have been talking to her at all. The other interesting thing is, that this really definitely reflects poor training. I think that those cops, first of all, they're probably going to lose their jobs. I think now that they've gone viral, they're famous now, they're going to lose their jobs. And they too, they remind me of actually a situation that happened to me when I was a student at the University of Kentucky. I remember I was in my office late at night, and I was in the math department. I was teaching math at Kentucky, and I was getting my master's degree in math. And I was in my office, and I was studying really hard. And one night I was in there all night, and I went to sleep, and I woke up, and this cop was like waking me up. And I told him, I said, oh, I'm sorry. I was asleep. I fell asleep because I was working on getting ready for my test tomorrow. And I was breaking no rules. It was a 24-hour building. I could be in there as long as I wanted. And I remember that this cop did not believe that I actually belonged in that building. He didn't believe me when I told him I was a graduate student in mathematics. I don't know why he thinks black people can't do math. Maybe he thinks we all play basketball and shit. I have no fucking idea. But I could not explain to this dumbass hillbilly son of a bitch, that I was just there like the white kids. I was there studying. That's what I was doing. Leave me the fuck alone. And I remember that because the cop was being so aggressive with me and so disrespectful to me, that enraged me even further. I'm a young black man. I'm 24, 25 years old. I ain't messing with nobody. All I'm trying to do is mess with this math test I got the next day. And this man was really kind of being very aggressive with me. And I could see where a situation like that could have gotten out of hand. I mean, I did get to the point where I was yelling at his ass, like, leave me alone. Like, I ain't did nothing wrong. Like, what do you want? Like, and it's so, and I remember, I think that what made him feel that it was okay for him to treat me that way is because he felt that he had this authority from the state to terrorize me, right? And I think that's the biggest issue. And the problem with that, the reason they need to fix that issue is because when you give people that kind of authority to terrorize American citizens, you know, karma's a bitch. It's going to backfire on you. It's going to come back to you. I feel bad for cops. Cops can't recruit black people hardly anymore, except for the Negroes that really need jobs and ain't woke and don't care. But even black cops, I know a lot of black cops who are happy to take the job because of the money. But after about 2-3 years, they're like, I can't do this no more. So they can't recruit black cops. They can't retain black cops. They go to neighborhoods. You got cops out here that really want to be friendly. You know, you see those dumbass videos where you have some cop that's like playing football with the neighborhood kids, or they're breakdancing, right? Trying to pretend like they're normal human beings. And, you know, it's hilarious to watch a guy breakdancing with a gun on his hip. But you'll see these videos because cops are trying desperately to give the impression that they are friends to the community, but the community does not trust them anymore. And the community will never trust them until you change the way policing is done throughout this country. So unfortunately, and I say this as a person who is who's supportive of the cops that want to be good cops. You know, I mean, seriously, as much as people talk shit about how much they hate the cops, I just dare them to go get in a situation where somebody's, you know, beating up their mother or about to kill their family. First thing they're gonna do is call. What they gonna call? Who they gonna call? What number they gonna call? 9. What else? What number they gonna call? What number? 911. Right? They're gonna call 911. That's what they're gonna do. So everybody who hates cops, you know, we got to understand, like, the first people we call when we need help are cops, and that becomes an awkward paradox because we know policing is being done incorrectly. And I think for cops, they're feeling kind of like, well, damn, like, y'all complain about us all day, but you call us when something goes wrong and you expect us to be there for you, to put our lives on the line to protect you. But then you complain about how we're doing our job. Well, no, there is a good reason to complain about how you're doing your job. There's a good reason to complain about the way policing is done, about the way cops are trained. And these cops were poorly trained. This young lady was not resisting. She's not a real criminal. She was an innocent victim. She was a 5'2" little college student with proper English riding her bike on the wrong side of the street. That does not make her a threat to anybody. And I think Oregon State University should be ashamed. Oregon State University, which is where this incident took place, if it took place on your campus, you should pay this family money for what they've gone through. You should get rid of those police, and you owe the family an apology. I think that's 100% crystal clear, and I think it's kind of sick and sad. So anyway, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, those of you who live in the you know, who actually want to come to New York, I'll be in New York doing my investment seminar on Sunday. So you can come to drboycenewyork.com. That's drboycenewyork.com. Feel free, and you can join us. Also, if you want to join our spades tournament in Chicago, which is going to be on November 9th, feel free to go to drboycechicago.com. That's drboycechicago.com. It is a spades tournament. The agenda is fun. That's the whole agenda: fun and connection, and all of us just hanging out, being black, and having a good time. So that is not an investment event. That is simply just that y'all ask me questions about stocks and bonds, and I'm pretty much going to ask you how many books you have, and slam my spades on the table, because I'm trying to win that trophy too. So if you live in the Chicagoland area, feel free to go to drboycechicago.com and hang out with us. All right, guys. So hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button, and I hope you guys have a good day. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Peace.